Hello and welcome back to your 13th intermediate Java tutorial. I finally said that correctly. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about Varargs. So Varargs is short for variable argument. So sometimes when you're creating a method, you want to take a variable amount of arguments. So say you wanted to add a bunch of values to an array list in just one line. So kind of how you do this. Say you wanted to do that for an array list, so you don't have to do, list.add, 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 list.add a million times. What you can do is you can just have an array be the parameter and just put in one of these, the curly brackets and all that. A lot of people do that and they prefer that, but there's another cool way of doing it called Varargs. So I'm going to show you the syntax for that. It's pretty much doing the same thing, but it's nicer looking. So let's go ahead and let's make our Java project. So we're going to tutorial 13 Varargs. Varargs is short for variable arguments. So we're going to go ahead and make our package sshs gd.tut13. Okay, and we're going to make a new class, call it main, and we're going to have a public static void. Okay, and then we're also going to make another class. We're going to actually make a custom exception. So this is kind of a a mini side tutorial. This is how you make a custom exception. You just make a class, so not enough arguments exception, because there's no such exception built into Java already for some reason, and you just make it extend exception. And that's how you make one. And then you give it a version ID or UID. So yours is going to be different from mine. You don't have to copy this number exactly. Just make a random number. So yeah, this is how you make a custom exception. You can have it do a whole bunch of stuff if you want, but this is the bare bones way of doing it. So we're just gonna have that. Okay. So now we're on to our main. So let's just go ahead and let's make this method first before we actually implement it. So private static, and it's going to be generic type method. So void add all to array list. So it's going to take an array list. So this is the list we're going to be adding to, and it's going to be called list. And then so to have vararg, so you can't just do an e array values, right? And then when you call this, you do add all to array list, and then you just put the values in the curly brackets. But let's not do that. Let's use our vararg. So to do that, use the e dot dot dot. So that's what that means. This dot 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 means that it's going to be a vararg. So that means you're going to have a bunch of e's in here. So always put it last. Don't put like int 1 after that, or int whatever. Don't do this. It doesn't let you. Variable argument type must be the last, because it doesn't know whether or not you're ending or you're not. So that's why that. And we're just gonna have it throws not enough arguments exception. So it's going to throw this. Okay. So first things first. This acts like an array. So it's going to do anything an array can do. So first we want to check if they put enough values in there. So if values, because this can even be 0. You can even have this be 0. Values dot length is less than 1. We're just going to throw a new not enough arguments exception. Else, then we're going to do what we want to do. So for e in values, so we're going to do a for each loop. We're just going to do list.add e. Okay, so this is our basic method here. So let's go ahead and make an array list. An array list of integer int list. And we're going to call it a new array list. Alright, so it's going to be so first we're just going to add one add, and we're just going to go ahead and just do 20. You know, just so that we can see. And then at the very end of our class, we're going to do for int I in int list. We're going to sys out I. Okay, so just that we got 20 here. So, okay, so let's do add all to array list. Int list, and then let's not give it a value. So, alright, we have to surround with the try catch. So, as you can see, it lets us do this. If this was an E array, it wouldn't let you do this. It wouldn't have enough arguments. But since we're using the Varargs, it even lets you put in 0. But we don't want it to have 0. We want to at least have 1. So when you do that, it's going to throw an exception and then just move on with the program. Okay? So let's go ahead and let's do another one. So add all to array list. Now let's be serious. Let's actually add the list. So 4, comma 6, comma 2, comma 5. So this is how you do it. You just put in commas. It just looks like it's taking in many. It just looks like it's taking many arguments when it's. Actually, we're just going to go ahead and do this because we know that this follows the rule, so we don't need to do that. Exception. Oh, I spelled exception wrong in here, so I put exception. Exception. There we go. Alright. Anyway. So yeah, so we do that, and now it adds the values. In all of them. So 4, 6, 2, 5. You know, we can just have it be 4 and 6, and it will do it just fine. It's 4 and 6. So that's what the Varargs does. It's really nice. It's really cool. It's a really nice way of doing things. I wish that the array list had a built-in, method like that, but it doesn't. Some lists have an add all method, which just kind of takes in the Varargs and just does that. So all we have to do now is just do safe Varargs. Just make sure that we're not going to screw up at all. So it kind of, it's kind of a way just to make sure that we don't screw up with the Varargs. We're just telling it, hey, we know what we're doing, don't worry about it. So yeah. Oh, look at that. Because this runs on a separate thread, it runs in parallel. So sometimes it comes before, sometimes it comes after. Little interesting thing about stack traces. So anyway, thank you for watching. Hope this wasn't too confusing. Again, if you have any questions, you can always just leave a comment in the comment section below, and I check them as regularly as I can. Obviously, I don't use the Game Dev YouTube channel as my personal YouTube channel, so I have to actually switch over to it, but I do check it regularly. So leave a comment and I'll get to you as soon as I can to answer your question. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye bye.